Hello everyone. In today's lesson, I am going to discuss the physical properties of matter. So in previous video, I told you what is matter. Matter is a substance that has mass and has volume. Properties are characteristics that help us to differentiate one material from the another. Matter can be identified by their properties, and by knowing the properties of that matter, we can know how useful that matter is and how hazardous that can be. For example, that copper wire is a good conductor of heat and electricity. We use them in the electric wires to conduct the electric current. Gold and silver, they are shiny, they has good luster, and they do not react with the moisture in the air and form the rust. So we use them to create jewelry. And the propane gas, which is flammable and highly explosive gas. So by knowing its property that is highly flammable and explosive, we can take precautions while handling them. Properties of a matter can be classified into physical property and chemical property. So what is a physical property? A physical property is a characteristics of a substance that you can observe and measure without changing the identity of that substance. Uh, like color, odor, they can be observed, and viscosity, melting point, they can be measured and assigned a particular value. So, a physical property is then again grouped into qualitative physical property and quantitative physical property. Qualitative property can be described by observing that matter. For example, color. You can describe that it is colorless, red, black, brown, yellow, whatever the color is. Odor, like sweet, as chocolate, pungent, moldy. State of matter. By looking at that matter, you can say that it is solid, liquid, or gas. Like water is liquid, oxygen is gas, solid stone is solid. Texture, rough, smooth, or bumpy. Luster, shiny or dull. Malleability, soft. Pliable means it can bend or not, or hard. These all are qualitative physical property. Although qualitative description of a substance can provide some information about that matter, but it is important to be while taking into it is important to consider the quantitative property also. Quantitative physical properties are often distinctive and unique for a particular element or compound. For example, the melting point of ice is 0 degree Celsius, while the boiling point of water is 100 degree Celsius. Here are some of the quantitative properties. Viscosity means resistance to flow, means how much it opposed to flow, how much a fluid opposed to flow. Take an example of honey and water. Try to pour some honey and water in a spoon. You can see that it is hard to fall the honey in the spoon, but water can easily get poured in the spoon. It means its resistance to flow is high, means the viscosity of the honey is greater than that of water. What is melting point? Melting point is the minimum temperature at which a solid changes to liquid at atmospheric pressure. Atmospheric pressure is the pressure in the atmosphere due to the weight of the molecules in air. The melting point of water is 100 degrees Celsius. Means at 100 degrees Celsius, the water, uh, the melting point of ice is 0 degrees Celsius. Means at 0 degrees Celsius, the ice melts to become water. What is boiling point? Boiling point is the minimum temperature at which a liquid changes to gaseous state. Liquid change to gaseous state at atmospheric pressure. The boiling point of liquid is 100 degree Celsius. Next property is solubility. Solubility is ability to dissolve in another substance. Uh, the solubility of a substance is uh, is the maximum quantity of a substance that can be dissolved in a given amount of solvent at a particular temperature and pressure. The substance in which we are dissolving is called the solvent, and the substance that we are dissolving is called solute. A substance is highly soluble if large amount of substance will dissolve in a given amount of solvent. And a substance that does not dissolve or has a very low solubility is described as insoluble. Hardness is ability to scratch another material. Harder substance can scratch softer substances, but softer substances cannot scratch harder substances. They are measured on Mohs scale, a scale that is used to measure the hardness. Uh, it is given a number between 1 to 10 on the Mohs scale. On the basis of their substance is given the number 1 to 10 on Mohs scale on the basis of their hardness. Like diamond is a natural substance with a hardness of 10. So it is the hardest natural material. While our fingernails, they have a number of 2 on the Mohs scale. Conductivity is the ability to conduct heat and electricity. Like copper, silver, they are good conductor of heat and electricity. But we use electric wires uh, made of copper since silver is the expensive material. Density is ratio of mass to volume. It is defined as the mass of a substance that occupies a certain volume, certain unit volume. Uh, for like liquid that have different densities will separate into distinct layer when added to some container. You can see that oil floats on water. Why? Since oil is less dense than water. Change in state of matter. The temperature at which a pure substance undergoes a change of state is an important physical property. Melting is the process in which a solid changes to liquid. What is freezing? Freezing is the opposite process of melting in which a liquid changes to solid. Sublimation is the process in which a solid changes to gases without change into liquid. For example, the dry ice or solid CO2, camphor. At a temperature, they change directly to gases. What is deposition? Deposition is the process in which a gas directly changes to solid. Sometimes you see in the morning there is some frost on the leaves. When the leaves temperature go down below the freezing point, then the moist or humid in the atmosphere, when come in contact with that leaves, they change directly to frost. Condensation is the process in which gas changes to liquid. Dewdrops on the grass in the morning are an example of condensation. Because of the vapors in the atmosphere, they because of the low temperature, they changes to liquid. Now what is evaporation? Evaporation is the change of liquid into gaseous state at any temperature. Boiling point is happen at a particular temperature, but evaporation occurs at any temperature. It is a slow process. You pour some water in a container and leave it for 7-8 days. You can see that the level of water decreases, also the temperature, while the temperature remains the same. It occurs at the surface of the substance. The molecules from the surface, they evaporated. That's all for today's lesson. In the coming videos, I will share what is chemical properties of matter. So please watch my channel continuously.